Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Cindy Hornback and I'm here to help you live, not just longer, but healthier. Today I want to talk to you about something I believe will make a huge difference to the enjoyment of your life and the lives of your family. I want to talk to you about how you can stay young for the first 100 years. Now I already know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, well, wait a minute, the title sounds catchy, but do I really need to know how to stay young for 100 years? Sounds pretty far-fetched and ambitious. Well, really it's not. You need to start thinking about what it means for you and your family to live a long time. Let's take a look at the facts. In 1900, the average lifespan was 49 years old. Now there's no question that that's because many people died when they were young. We didn't have the kind of cures that we have today, and we didn't provide the type of health care that we provide today. But that's precisely the point. Everybody's chances of living a long, healthy life was much less back then. As a matter of fact, the average lifespan today is 77.6 years and growing. Scientists from the University of Texas reported on the Today Show in April of 2006 that by the year 2050, there will be over 800,000 Americans over the age of 100 and many living to 150. So what does that mean? It means your kids need to know more about how to stay young the first 100 years too. If we're going to live for 100 years, we need to have that life be a long quality life. We don't want to be able to just exist on this planet. We want to be able to live and work and play on this planet. We want it to be a quality life. Now we have a whole huge group of baby boomers that are moving into the over 50 phase of life, and we can see in large numbers what the effects of long life can be. Long life reveals that we have some major areas of health concern after 50 if we don't do something before we're 50 to prevent these problems. These are areas that we've not seen before because we haven't had such large numbers reaching such a ripe old age. For example, we're now continuously being confronted with the devastation of mental diseases such as Alzheimer's. This disease didn't just start. We just see it a lot more because dementia doesn't start until 70 or older. Now that we realize the chances are much greater that we'll reach this age, we need to take some precautions to make sure we can still use our minds when we get to this age. We also see the importance of taking care of our skin. Old age has brought about a huge growth in cosmetic surgery. More and more people are trying to correct wrinkle problems that come with getting older. But the biggest problem we've seen come about with the increased lifespan is the increase in musculoskeletal problems. In other words, your mobility function, the ability to move around like we used to. We've increased the odds of living past 80, and we've increased our life's activities, but we have not changed the way we take care of our spine. This is the first generation to witness the ramifications that long life creates. It reveals areas of neglect. Now the stats show the most common cause of functional disabilities in persons over 50 years of age is spinal disorders. Wow, that's pretty important to know. How many of you plan on living past 50? And how many of you think your family will live past 50? All right, let's think about this as an example. If your house was going to be broken into and someone was going to steal all your possessions, but I knew who was going to do it and when it was going to happen, and I told you about it. Would you do something about it to stop it, or just let it happen? Well, I'm able to tell you what's going to rob you of your functional capacities and when it's going to happen. So, are you going to do something about it, or just let it happen? Of course not. Let's prevent it. Think about this. If we lose our mobility at 65, but live to 105, that's 40 years of immobility and pain. Let's take a look at some areas of healthcare where we've already made some adjustments and improvements for our health. Look at the advancements we've made in tooth decay. We used to have many more cavities and loss of teeth in years past than we do now. We take so much better care of our teeth, and now with all kinds of preventative care measures, our teeth last longer and cause us less pain. More and more people are also living with less wrinkles. That's right. There's been a 465% increase in the number of people wanting to get rid of wrinkles just since 1997. So that's 12 million people that had cosmetic adjustments last year to get rid of another ramification of getting older, wrinkles. Now, I'm all for us having longer lasting teeth and less wrinkles. But I think all of us can agree, if you can't move, a lack of mobility will make you look a lot older than crow's feet. The only reason we seem to respond to our teeth and our wrinkles before our spine and joints is for one simple fact. If our spine were on our face, we'd take better care of it. We don't wait till our teeth fall out before we take care of them, and now we must not wait till our back goes out before we take care of it either. The chances are absolutely huge that you will live for 30 to 40 years past the age of 50. Isn't this even more important than your teeth? There's no such thing as a spine transplant. You can get a new set of teeth, and you can have many other organs replaced. But if you don't take care of your spine, there's no going back. There's no crown or replacement. You just have to live with the pain. And don't forget, this isn't limited to back pain. You can't get a new neck either. 1 in 3 people suffer today with neck pain past the age of 50. So think about this. How many people expect to live your life past 50 and want to use your neck without experiencing pain? If 1 out of 3 have neck pain and 85 out of 100 have back pain, that's about as high a statistic as I would think anyone would want to see to be convinced that we need to do something preventative about this. But just in case you need a little more convincing, let's take a look at what will happen if we just let nature take its course. Take a look at the mobility scale. Now, the numbers on the bottom of this scale represent your age, and the numbers on the side of the scale represent the percentage of maximum mobility that you have. In other words, if we take a look at the graph where you see the blue line, you can see that you reach 100% mobility, or your maximum mobility, at about age 23. Now look at that blue line as it drops if we just let nature take its course. You can see here you'll lose about 50% of your mobility that you had when you were 23 at age 50. I'm sure that anyone around the age of 50 will testify that having about 50% of the mobility that they had when they were 23 is probably pretty conservative. Now look at the graph as it continues to drop like a rock. By the time we're 60, we have only 25% of the mobility that we had when we were 23. Now the big question to this revealing graph is, can this scale be changed? Do we have to accept this just the way it is, or can we alter the result? The good news is, with preventative care, we can make big improvements to the line on this scale. Take a look at the red line on this graph and what happens if we let nature take its course. And look at the green line of how we can change that with some preventative care. On the green line, you can see where your mobility can actually be held at about 75% through the age of 80 years. You think that may improve your quality of life? Is that what you want for your family as well? If we're going to be here, we might as well be able to move and function. So why not take the necessary steps to make this happen? Well, one answer you may be thinking is that's the perfect thing to do if you're young, but what about those of us who've already experienced pain? Or what if we're already past 50? Is it too late to start? Absolutely not. In fact, I want to congratulate you on realizing it's never too late to do the right thing. We want to get you on track for a great life ahead, and here's how to do it. The first thing you need to do is be evaluated to determine the condition of your spine. In our office, commonly this includes x-ray analysis along with proper examination and history to determine if an appropriate treatment regimen for your spine. Pain is always the last to show and the first to go. So please, even if you aren't in pain, take advantage of what you've learned here today and call to get started with your preventative care so you can stay young for the first 100 years. Thank you.